Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix, and I'm cleaning up right now for those who are wondering, like, what is he doing? Yeah, I'm cleaning up right now because I just finished doing the collective tarot reading, and then also I did the lucky numbers, so now I'm doing the daily thought. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Okay, so give up or get up. I believe that is the title of this daily thought. Let me take a look and confirm it right quick because I got a lot of things going on. So yeah, give up or get up. I actually literally heard that this morning. And because it was resonating with me and it stayed on my spirit, I was like, okay, let me go ahead and talk about that. So here we are. Do you know I left that other card out of the deck? Okay, gotta put that back in. Give up or get up. You know, I mentioned this before when I was talking about the will of God, which is also the will of fortune, for those who don't know. And I said nothing can stay a certain way in perpetuity. It's against the law of the universe. That's what it is. It's against the law of the universe. And it's easy to just give up on something. Like, giving up is the easiest thing that you can do. But if success and achieving goals and dreams were easy, then everyone would do it. Everyone's going to have setbacks. I kid you not. One of my companies, which I still own the company or whatever, but I don't do as much with it. I focus more on this stuff, which is under my production company. And the thing is, after my experience with my other company, when I was working mostly in travel, because I owned a travel agency and other things, it didn't pan out the way I wanted because I wanted to pivot to something else. And it would have been nice to do it with my old company that I still have but don't really use as much. But it didn't quite work out that way. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, this didn't work out how I wanted it to with the pivot, but do I stop? And I was just like, no, I'm not going to stop. I'll try something else. And that's what I do. If something doesn't work out, you should really try to get at it another way. I'm sure you've heard the saying, there's more than one way to skin a cat, which I don't know where the hell that came from. Who was the original person? Sometimes, random side note, sometimes I think about that stuff. Like, who comes up with these things? So yeah, just like I would love to know, and people are going to be like, Casey, you're yeah. I honestly would love to know, who was the first person in history to say it is what it is? I really want to know that. And I don't think there's an answer because I don't think anybody can possibly know the answer to that, not even Google. So yeah, but I wonder about little things like that. But as I was saying, I digress. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And that's how you have to look at things. If it didn't work this way, it's like, okay, fine, whatever. Let me try something else. As I've also mentioned before, success is like a combination safe. Some people will get the combination in a few tries. Other people, it may take them 1,000 tries or 10,000 tries. It's sort of like what I've mentioned before with Thomas Edison. It took him 1,000 times, but he got it with the whole light bulb thing. That's kind of how you have to be. It's like, okay, well, this didn't work. All right, let me try it again. All right, well, this didn't work. Let me try again. This didn't work. Let me try again. and see what you get. Eventually, you're going to unlock the safe. But it's about, do you have the endurance? Do you have the stamina? Do you have the fortitude to withstand all of the failures, because everyone has failures. I remember it was something about Michael Jordan where they were talking about how, you know, he had one of the highest scores or whatever as in averaging points per game, I think in history. You know, I know of Michael Jordan, but I wasn't a huge Michael Jordan fan. It's like I respected, you know, him as an athlete and everything. But, you know me, sports, I only like certain sports. Basketball isn't one of them. But with Michael Jordan, he says something to the effect of people don't talk about the 3,000 shots he missed. I think it was like 3,000 or something like it was some crazy number. He's like, people don't remember that. The only thing they remember is the shots he made. And I was like, yeah, same thing with the failures. It's almost like you will know about the failures. And some of the people around you, maybe in your circle, will know about the failures, quote unquote. I call them really learning experiences because that's all failure is a learning experience. But you'll mostly know about it. But once you hit that success, the other world won't know about that. They're just going to see the success is what they will see. But had Michael Jordan been like, oh my gosh, I'm missing all these shots, and then he took on that defeatist attitude, I doubt he would have been as successful as he was when he was in the NBA. So, you know, just keep that in mind. I don't recommend giving up to anyone. And my stomach is growling like something fierce. And before you give up, really think about, is it worth it? Is it worth giving up on when really all you have to do is tweak what you're doing? Do it a different way. And you know what? I'm going to throw something else out here too. There's nothing wrong with taking a completely different path. It is okay to be goal adjacent. And what I mean by that is, for example, for some people, they may get where they want in a different way. Some people who wanted to be singers. Do you know there's quite a few people who started out as songwriters? Which songwriting, you know, they enjoy doing it. And some people are true. Some singers are songwriters who happen to sing, like Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey isn't a singer. She's a songwriter who happens to sing. You know, when they went into this, some of them went in like, I really would like to be a singer, but okay, that's not popping off, so I'm just going to be a songwriter. And then if they write a hit song, it makes them more in demand. It creates more connections for them. So finally, they have the network that they may need to say, hey, okay, I want to do my own album. And the appropriate people in that network might be like, okay, you know what? You've proven yourself as a songwriter. We can give you a chance as a singer and do that. That's what I'm talking about, like goal adjacent. If, let's say, excuse me, you wanted to work for Disney. My voice has been up and down, up and down, up and down. Let's say you wanted to work for Disney and you wanted to be an actor. Like you want to be in a Disney film. Okay. Well, there's a lot that you have to go through to become a Disney actor. So let's put that to the side for a second. What if you decided to go into directing, which is goal adjacent, and you were a director? And then you built up a track record as a director. Sort of like, some people don't like him. I think he's hilarious. Taika Waititi, where Taika Waititi actually ended up being in some of the films and stuff. It's just little things like that, where it's like you can do goal adjacent sometimes. You don't have to just give up completely. There's other ways to get into the industry of whatever your goal may be connected to and stuff. Maybe it's a thing where you want to start a family, but that isn't an option for you right now. Maybe you want to go into childcare and do that and work with kids that way, or teaching. So, goal adjacent. But don't ever give up on your dreams. I do not recommend that. As one thing I heard from Emma Chan, where she said one of the best quotes she ever heard. It was, disappointment is temporary, regret is forever. So when you're pursuing your goals, yeah, you might be disappointed, but that's temporary. You just get up and keep going. But if you decide to give up and you're like, you know what, I just can't do it. I'm not going to do this anymore. And you didn't fulfill whatever this goal was because you gave up, then later in life, you may have some regrets. And that's forever. So just throwing that out there. So either give up or get up. And I always recommend that you get up. And that is my daily thought. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Until next time, be blessed.